Hey everyone, hope you're well. We've got a new update coming and they've released the patch notes and trailer for it. We're getting big buffs for Maggie and Seer, a new wildcard game mode, I suppose, and other patch notes and changes here and there. So let's react to the trailer first and then we'll read the patch notes. Wait, hold up. Let's go back to the actual beginning of the trailer here. So, new Valk skin.
Now that's a work of art right there.
Is that a mythic flatline skin? Yep. Using Maggie, going at it again. Choose your wild card. Oh, new wild cards. New Pathfinder skin.
Just walk it off. Yeah, you'll be all right.
Okay.
Guess not.
They just got exploded. Seer, yeah, Seer buff, there it is. EPG. I guess that's going to be a wild card. So, Seer buff's crazy, man. They're crazy. Can't believe I'm saying it. He's getting back in the meta.
Funny thing about a wild card, they always turn up again.
All right, let's go and check out the patch notes. So, this is going to be a big one. There is a collection event, so if you decide to buy any of the skins, you can now use my creator code Gaming Merchant. There'll be a link in the pinned comment explaining how you can use it. If you do use it, thank you so much for the support. Let's take a look at the patch notes, though. It's cybernetic supremacy versus the raw power of nature in the Wild Iron event. Legends. Wildcard gets explosive. Loot the new mythic flatline from Rampart care packages. So they did the same thing with the R301. There'll be a way to test it in game, and I assume the collection or milestone event will be for the mythic flatline. Try its two devastating abilities. So the gameplay version of this gun, knocked enemies turn into time bombs, and every 5th bullet fired does double damage plus an AoE blast. Okay. They brought the EPG-1 grenade launcher into mythic bins, and higher Bocek spawns fuel the carnage. So this is all for the wildcard mode, I assume. Craft new wildcards to get the edge over rival squads, with new abilities like marking enemies with explosive damage or instant reload on knock. Mad Maggie and Seer are blowing up the scene with their new legend updates. They are pretty big. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Wildcard Wild Iron. So, this is a collab with Rampart and Fuse. From September 16 to 13, even more explosive gear, 30, will be available amongst wildcards loot, with a chance of finding an EPG. Visit a local replicator to increase your power with one of 8 new wildcards. Crackerjack, instantly reload weapon on knock. Down bad, enemies explode when knocked. Extra ordnance, player gains ability to gain +1 ordnance. Good doctor, revive squad mates with additional shields. Grenade, mark enemies damaged by your explosives. Scent packing, frag grenade knockback is increased. Shields up, gain epic shield level. Oh yeah, I want that. Stowed reload, stowed weapon auto reloads after several seconds. Okay. Enemies explode when knocked, sounds pretty fun. Instantly reload on knock sounds pretty good, and shields up. And then here we've got the event items. So the mythic flatline skin. This will be like the R301 with unique sound effects when you shoot it, unique animations. So honestly, out of all of the mythics in the game, the R301's actually my favorite, because unlike heirlooms, like you shoot with it, you look at it all the time, and the sound effects are pretty cool. So hopefully the flatline one is also pretty good. We've got new skins. Okay, each event pack contains 1 item, so it's a milestone event probably. We got a Pathfinder. Okay, luckily they are letting you craft. Oh, that is a cool Valk skin. They're letting you craft the legendary legend skins now, at least. Vantage. Okay, well they're like looking like simulacrums. They're all like simulacrumed up. Okay, that's a pretty cool lifeline skin. All right, and then the weapons. A vault skin. Bocek. That actually looks nice. There aren't any good Boceks. Oh my. Okay, that is sick. What is going on with that? That looks like Olympus. The Olympus, like, vines. That's actually a very cool Nemesis skin. Prowler skin. Mastiff looks clean. Shane the Mastiff is... Oh, Owlstar looks good. All of these skins don't necessarily follow a specific theme, which I don't know. I actually kind of like that. They're pretty cool. Shame you can't buy them with crafting, but hey. Yeah, the same kind of store, milestone. You can get a free pack in the event store. Game stability. Steam Datagram Relay has been reintegrated with our servers on GameLift. So they've added the DDoS protection back. We've enabled it in 100% of Diamond and Masters rank matches, and we're happy to report a 9% drop in suspected denial of service attacks since. Yeah, that was a big problem, but looks like they've brought it back. Awesome. Brilliant stuff. Okay. Patch notes, the actual juicy stuff. So this was already added in the game. Evo Harvesters, we now can get 10 to 11 per match instead of 7 to 8. And the likelihood of multiple spawning in a single POI has been reduced significantly. Ring exploit prevention, adjusted to prevent system abuse. Ring exploit, I wonder what that means. I have no idea. All right, here we go. Into the perks. Here we go. Assault class, stowed reload, time to reload while stowed increased to 4 seconds, was 2 seconds. I wonder if the gold mac has been changed alongside that, or if they're giving the gold mac a little bit of more power. Ash, nerf, Predator's Pursuit, increased dash cooldown to 12 seconds, was 8 seconds. Yeah, that's going to feel pretty punishing. You know, honestly, remember when it first came out, I think it was like 6 seconds or maybe 4? Sure, but it's already been nerfed once. Dash gives less of a boost when not dashing in the direction you're moving. Depending on how big of a dash that is, that's quite a big deal. So if you're running forward, you're going to dash forward. But this means you're not going to be able to dash as far if you want to dash left, right, backwards. You're not going to get as much distance. Actually have to move in that direction first. And I think the key word here is moving. Not necessarily the direction you're facing, but the direction you're moving. So you got to move first and then dash to get the maximum distance, which is actually a really interesting way to nerf it. Tactical Arc Snare breaks more easily. Base duration now 6 seconds was 8 seconds. Less pulling strength, doesn't do extra damage to shields. I like it. Yeah, she needs, I mean, as fun as it is to play Ash, it's just everywhere. Even in Wildcard, it's like 90% Ashes. Tactical Arcs, upgrades, Dual Breach and Mark for Death removed. New longer reach increases phase breach range by 25 meters. So that's the ultimate. New ultimate cooldown reduces phase breach cooldown by 30 seconds. So what's really important to notice here, they've removed the double dash. Pretty big deal. Despite nerfs in recent patches, Ashe has stayed at the top of the pack, and we want to bring her back in line with the rest of the squad. In particular, a longer cooldown on her dash alongside dual breaches removal should make it easier to punish Ashe's misplays. Yeah, no, these are some decent nerfs. Caustic knocks gas. Damage from gas ramps up more slowly, increasing every 2 ticks, was every tick. Removed aim punch when taking damage. I like that change. I just feel like Caustic is just he's literally toxic. It's just not a fun legend to play against. I get that they want to bring more legends into the meta, and they did it successfully, but it's such a frustrating meta. It's not necessarily the fact that the gas even does damage. It's just it stops everything. I don't know. I guess I'm just a bit of a Caustic hater. I don't know what else to say. But I enjoyed Apex more when Caustic wasn't meta, but that's a personal complaint with the game, let's be honest. But this will definitely make some difference, and I like that they removed the aim punch change. Like, having aim punch in Caustic Gas is horrible. All right, Mad Maggie, this is where we get into the juicy stuff, my friends. This is where it gets good. I have seen this already. It's pretty crazy. Riot Drill, firing animation sped up by 10%. Drill now comes out immediately after releasing the button. We're getting there. Just wait. This is quite big. It's going to make it feel a lot snappier to use the tactical. This is where it gets better with the ultimate and the perks. Throw animation has been sped up. The Wrecking Ball is now more reliable at moving around / over obstacles. It's going to get to the target better, and that means even over obstacles. They've improved the coding and the way the logic works for it. Very good change. Explosions deal up to 25 damage, was 20. The lifetime has been reduced, though, to 7 seconds, but the increased movement speed has been improved for 3.5 seconds. And speed pads now give you the fortified buff. It's not going to stack with fortified legends, but that means you're going to take less damage. You'll have damage resistance. Speed pads last 20 seconds, was 60 seconds, so that's a nerf. But overall, the Wrecking Ball is going to go where it needs to, and you're going to be able to push with confidence, so you got a bit more tankiness. And speed pads deactivate 6 seconds for the player using it after being used. Speed pads no longer drop from the final explosion. So they're bringing down the speed sort of length. You'll get more actual faster movement from it, technically, because the speed, well, you won't get faster movement, but each pad will give you movement for longer. The overall duration of the ult is less, but it's going to hit people more efficiently, all right? Now, this is where it gets really, really cool. Shots removed, new gun running. Passive movement speed increase also works with SMGs and pistols. So you're going to be able to have faster movement speed when strafing, when ADSing, whatever you're doing. With an SMG like an R9, pistol like a wingman, pretty cool. Fireball now drops magma patches along the ground as it moves, and Mad Maggie takes 50% less fire damage from all sources. So the ultimate sort of turns into a flame ball. We've seen that before. I don't know necessarily how this is going to feel, but magma patches alongside the speed patches could be good. We'll have to see. But I'm really looking forward to this thing, especially as an R9 enjoyer. Mad Maggie was effective in certain circumstances, but we wanted to give her a bit more reliability and team utility to compete against other legends. It's now easier to get both her attack and ult to go where you want them to go. The fortified speed pads give her and her squad stronger options to push and rotate, and the new gun running upgrade allows her to have more flexibility in the close range weapons that she can use effectively. Pretty fun. Seer, if you watch the channel, if you watch me stream, you know I have some feelings about Seer. The Seer meta was terrible. But this change, honestly, in today's day and age, actually feels pretty decent. So firstly, passive long view upgrade, now permanent, increasing range for passive attack to 75 meters. So that perk has been brought into his base kit. You get one constant heartbeat instead of differing beats for each enemy. UI and audio pulse to indicate when the heartbeat scans happen. Directional waveforms are now taller or shorter depending on whether the enemy is close or far from you where you are aiming, and improved UI visibility. So using a passive is just going to be, it's going to make more sense. You're going to understand it more. You're not going to be like looking around like up at the ceiling like, where are they? Like, it's going to be a little bit easier to understand and get your head around, right? Tactical. Reduce weapon holster time. So it's just going to be a little bit quicker. You're going to put your weapon away, activate the tactical, and then get back to shooting 60% faster. Scanning someone with tac now gives a Seer a speed boost for 4 seconds. So you hit the tactical, and then you can actually do something with it, right? It's not like, oh, there's a guy there through a building. What can I do? You know, you actually get a speed boost. So you can capitalize off the scan. Scan duration increased to 4 seconds, slow duration to 1 second, and silence to 2.5. So basically, they've improved the scan duration, improved the slow, but reduced the silence. I think this is a good way to balance. You want to be able to scan someone and do something with that. Honestly, I think silence as an ability is a frustrating thing to deal with. Case in point, ballistic, tactical. Yeah, we'll talk about that another day. But yeah, I think this could be good. Cooldown reduced to 20 seconds. Increased delay before the scan goes off to 1 second. Was 0.7 seconds. Okay, that's a small adjustment. Visual effects adjusted, including extra clarity on AO effects that let you know where the scan will hit. Okay, interesting. Artist's reach upgrade, now permanent. So the perk where it would increase your throw range is now into the base kit. So you'll be able to get a 50-meter throw range by default. The radius has been increased to 38 meters. It was 34. You know, small change. I guess we're talking about a sphere here, so an extra 4 meters does make a difference. You know, if you ever think about 4 meters not making much of a difference, just think about how much bigger a 13-inch pizza is over a 10-inch pizza, right? Like, it makes a difference. Seer gains enhanced jumping and ADS hover while inside any exhibit. This one is important. So when he's in the ult, that is his play area, right? He can now, I don't know if it's a double jump or what. I think it's a double jump. He gets a double jump or better jumping whilst in the radius of the ultimate. And if he aims down sight, he will actually float in the air. And I'm going to assume it's very much like the Titanfall equivalent, which allows you to have full accuracy whilst doing so. Very interesting to get that into the game. Added threat indicator within 15 meters of the center the enemies will see. Okay, interesting. Adjusted throws pitch while aiming, so you don't have to aim as far out to get longer throws. So in the past, if you want to get the fullest, furthest CF throw, you literally have to throw it like that, right? But now, not so much. You can just sort of aim to where you're actually wanting to throw it. Cool. Perks. So, Ultimate cooldowns removed. Artist Reach has gone into his base kit. New lasting beats. Enemies who leave the dome have their location shown for 5 seconds. That's pretty cool. New home base. Tactical recharges 4 times as fast in your exhibit sphere. Remembering that your tactical gives you a speed boost and slows enemies as well. That's pretty cool. Long view has been added to base kit. And new energizing focus. Regen 25 shields when hitting an enemy with tactical. Pretty good. So you're getting a lot of power. If you hit that tactical, it supposedly is going to change the flow of the fight. I like that. Look, the Seer meta in the past was horrible, but I do think the game has evolved to the point where every other legend is different. So bringing Recon Legends back to the game now, I'm not so opposed. I want to see it happen. I want to see. Maybe it could make things fun again. It's time to bring Seer back into the meta. He's been popular before, but that strength usually came at the cost of being extremely frustrating to play against. Yes, we're aiming to have Seer be fun to play with in more combat power, while avoiding some of the issues that made him feel oppressive. So less silence potential, more focus on scanning and playing off the scan. Sparrow. His tracking duration has been nerfed. It was 12 seconds on his tactical. It's now 50. It was 15. New visual effects when aiming to show if your dart will activate a nearby enemy scan beacon. New visual effects when aiming. Oh, okay. Why? It's weird that they call it enemy scan beacon. I guess that's what it's called. So you're going to know if you're going to hit the beacon without you having to fire it, which is pretty cool. Stinger Bolt health has been reduced so that it's going to be easier for you to destroy it. Bolts pushing now slow. Wow. Who would have known speaking makes you almost perish? Okay, anyway. Bolts pulsing now slows Sparrow and his allies. Interesting. So the ult is going to slow your own teammates and yourself when you activate it. That is a big nerf. Adjusted the animations when aiming Stinger Bolt to make it easier to see the trajectory. Okay. Extra traps. Level 2 now gives 1 additional trap in the Wild Wars 2. So Sparrow got hit hard. Sparrow's continued popularity surfaced some frustrating elements to his kit. His Stinger Bolt should now be easier to take down with 1 or 2 people, while his tracking should no longer lock opponents down for too long. We also included a couple of quality life improvements related to aiming his abilities. All right, I feel like they should have this at the top. You read that first, and then you get the extra insight. Gold Magazine. Yes, so they did nerf Gold Mag alongside the assault change, so it is 4 seconds now to reload instead of 2. Accelerator, increased points, and it is now on the G7 Scout, Car, and Flatline. Graffiti mod, it looks like they've increased all of the points for all hop-ups, including Skull Piercer, which is 600 now. And they've added the Graffiti mod to the Mastiff, and they've brought back the Turbocharger, back to the Havoc and Devotion. Ooh, the Havoc meta, I wouldn't mind it. We're really happy with how locked hop-ups have changed the game and provide a clearer path to unlocking a weapon's power. Me too. Good change. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I think it's just so much better. It's much healthier for the loot. And being able to take part in fights and get the hop-up that way, it just feels better to me. We found, however, that the values we launched with have been a little too generous, and that power is coming online a little earlier than we'd hope. Increasing the unlock retirement requirement, unlock retirements. Oh, I would love to unlock retirement. Should rein in that early game strike force, still maintaining the consistency in the mid to late game. So basically, that does mean you will need to do more damage to get the perk hop-ups, right? Loot amps, previous hot picks, spawn rates reduced, icon added to enemy health bar for which amp they have. So if you shoot somebody, you're going to know what amp they have. They added that already. It's in the game. So Devotion, with the Turbocharger now being a hop-up, they removed the ability to turn it into a turbo by getting all purple attachments. Makes sense. Bowcheck, decreased charge time to fully knock an arrow. So that's when it's fully pulled back, right? It's a little bit faster, and they've improved the hipfire spread. Marksman, Bowcheck buff. Reduce projectile size to match all pistols, reduce magazine size by 3 at all tiers, and increase the horizontal and vertical recoil for the RE45. That's already been in the game for a while. And the wingman damage increased to 50, was 48. Skull Piercer headshot has been adjusted. However, it's basically to keep the headshot at the same as 96. Why? Listen, why is a wingman headshot 96 damage, which is pretty hard to do, when a full blast PK is 108, and that's pretty easy to do? I don't think that's quite fair. Like a wingman headshot is not necessarily that easy. I know that you can shoot a wingman more often, But I think the PK damage needs to be brought down a bit. Mastiff. Okay. Increased delay before firing when drawing the weapon to better match our other shotguns. Okay. And Peacekeeper, increased size of blast pattern when choked. That's all the gameplay patch notes. We've also got map changes. We're getting E-District, Kings Canyon, and Olympus going into the next split next week. And new map, mixtape map rotation. Duos. Oh, interesting. Obviously, Duos was not filling up very quick. Reduced squad count to 15 was 30. Reduced player count to 30 was 60. Ring starts partially closed, timings adjusted. Drop ship now starts at the edge of the ring, similar to Wildcard. Ring closes 4 times. So, obviously, no one's playing duos that much. They can't fill lobbies. They've made it a snappier, quicker game mode. Interesting. Okay. I wonder if they're going to do that and then maybe phase out duos in the future with Wildcard in the game. I don't know. Does anyone play duos? Let me know. Do you want to play duos, but you can't? I'd love to hear your opinions. And then obviously we've got all the Wildcard trio stuff. And then from September 13th, it will go back to normal again. Okay, ranked ladder scoring changes. Entry cost no longer included in ranked ladder scoring. Oh my god. Okay, I just put this on screen. You can pause it if you want to read it. I'm not too bothered about the ranked ladders. I don't know if you are. Bug fixes. Once again, small bug fixes here. I'll pause it on the screen for you to see. More for the legend bug fixes as well. And then quality of life, added for you section in the shop that contains personalized offers that rotate weekly. Cool. If it's personalized, then it must know that I really like heirloom shards game. No, it's probably just a bunch of skins related to the characters and weapons you use the most. I like that. It's cool. Rank drop zones, remove the jump master. Now all teammates skydive independently. Yes, good change. We all need to land at different points in our POI so we can loot more efficiently. Everyone landing on top of each other that makes no sense, and people still do it. So really good change. I like that. Wildcard respawn notifications. Reduce the size of the announcements to take up less screen space when someone respawns. Remove the announcement for when individual teammates have died. Rewarded death banner to read last legend standing. Okay. Shader count reduced by nearly 50%, improving performance and startup times. And some CPU improvements there. Okay, cool. Well, that's the patch notes for the new update coming September 16. What do you think? Let me know, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio.